and immediately it'll kick off, and we're going to color it in a lighter color, because this is the land they're taking that they didn't declare independence from. And they end up taking a good amount of land, like this. The purple team is powerless in this side. And now we're going to tell a tale of government and lore, so get ready and listen. And there are three main, this is like, I don't know if this is already a thing, but there are three, this is like a multi-monarch, is what I'm going to be calling it. And it consists of three people in power. We're going to say these are the three. They all have power over the other in some way, but they aren't breaking off. So, let's say one is in control of this north one, and then where are the other two? Well, they all don't agree with each other, and they're now all becoming different things and making different countries, and are declaring independence from this main one. We see this blue country right here forming, and it's not exactly the blue country, it's just a little darker. We are going to be coloring this just a little darker because it needs to be. That's better. I'm going to smooth these borders out just a little bit. And now they have declared independence. And they started invading into this area. And then there's just the one monarch left of the country who owns this area. And they decide they don't like, the government has collapsed. They're going to form their own government. So they take control of a lot of land. All this land goes over to them. Now the world is just sitting back and watching as this big war, this big civil war is taking shape. All three of them are fighting over each other. And the purple team has collapsed. And we're going to be coloring, none of these are going to be colored the purple team. And in the end, we might change one to the purple team. But it's going to stay like this for now. Down here, though, I'm going to use a new color to invade. And they invade into this area, taking a lot of this area from this oligarch, or monarch. Up here, this is probably the strongest one. They have become very powerful, and they have seized a good amount of land. And then some of this territory from the green team is going to rebel away. They have nothing to do with this monarch situation. They're just here, so we're going to be coloring this. And they start their invasion. And the Civil War is kind of going to end here. We're going to see the peace treaty now. And this is basically the rough draft of the peace treaty. This country gains all this land. And of course, each of these become independent. They share most of these share two things. One of them, they all came from the purple team. And then the three biggest ones, they all are ruled by one of the monarchs. And there's going to be some deep hatred. How the monarchs came into power is three different families who made the purple team. They came together and they formed the purple team, and when they rebelled from the green team. And then they've grown all, this is several generations down the line, and probably 20 generations at least, and they're still here, but now they control different territories and land. And this is kind of gonna, the purple team is gone. This one right here is going to become the new purple team. They're going to still be alive. And this one also takes some of this land. I didn't like how the border looked. And this area is not gonna be anything. It's just nothing now. For now. And it's going to start, there is an idea going around that maybe the top powers might take it and make it their own little thing. But no ideas have been proposed yet by any of the major countries. Until one does. And it is that the top 3 most powerful countries after this war get to keep it. And they're like, but who is? Because they haven't taken a survey since the end of this war or whatever. And we don't know who the top power is. And so they end up checking the ranking. And they do the survey, and it ends up looking like this, with the top 3 powers being the Peach Team. You know, use a thing to mark them. Peach Team. So, the Peach Team right here. The Green Team in second. And in third, we have the Brown Team, who quickly rose up in the rankings. And we can see some of these old countries right here and what their power ranking is. And you can see it's dropped a lot from the actual purple team and what their strength was. But now this here is going to be divided and occupied by the top 3 countries. First of all, we have the pink team. And they're going to occupy this land right here. The green team is next. They occupy this land. And then the brown team next, and they occupy this land. And now we can see what's occupied by who. And eventually they're just gonna hand these off to the different colonies. This one going to green teams to the new one there. This one going peaches to this one. And then this one right here goes to the purple team. So the purple team has been very fractured from their old self. And this is going to basically mark the end of an era. And the new era that awaits is probably going to be, it's going to be very big. It's going to be a very big area. And it's the area of expansion. We see it kicking off with this country as they expand greatly, over double their size. And this is going to kick it off for a lot of these countries. This one right here takes this much land. And the idea of expanding a large amount, because a lot of these countries are more stable now, so they can afford to expand. And they expand greatly. The brown team being one of the main expanding people, taking the largest piece of land that probably yet that has been taken, taking all this, and they're becoming very strong very fast. Meanwhile, this country right here has been able to take a good amount of territory, this country right here, that's an impressive thing and takes over all this area, becoming very big. And a lot of these countries are growing very big, very rapidly. And next, so we see a lot of this. The old purple team area, they're not going to expand. They really need to work on setting up their government. So we're going to look back up here where some more expanding takes place, as all this area is taken over by the golden team. Meanwhile, the rest is taken over by this gray team. And they even go all the way up to the Strait of, I forget what this is called. The Strait of Gibraltar. Yep. And now we see countries expanding rapidly. Like I said, a lot of new areas are going to be discovered. And what's going to kick this off is the Peach team. No one really knows what's down here until there have been word of the Peach team finding something over here. So the Peach team sends out their ships, and they end up finding this place and colonizing it, taking a good amount of land right here. It can't really hold up. Nothing can right now. So it ends up just kabooming and turning into its own country. Yet again, this has happened a lot of times in history. Happened with this purple team up here that exploded, kind of. And another new idea that is happening is unification, as it starts over here when two countries over here put aside their differences and decide to unify under this new flag. And let's change this color. I don't like that. We're going to change it to this color. And now unification is becoming very popular, as a lot of countries are going to try to do this. Down here there has been some talks of the Peach team unifying with this red team. They pretty much surround them on all sides. That's why. There is some more talk about this team right here that lost their government, the maroon team, joining up with the blue team. But it does not happen yet. And now, that's going to do it for today's episode. This has been a very eventful episode. The last thing I have is the alliance map that you can see. It's been updated back to the original alliance map. Just getting rid of the rounded rectangles, or whatever you want to call them. The circle alliance. It got rid of that. And now it's just these alliances again. New alliances may be formed in the future. But for now, that is all I have for you guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.